How exactly in the moment, here and now, can you put a woman in her place? Advice like be a man or grow a pair, which some male psychologists like to throw around, is useless in a real life situation. What good are these words if you're already in conflict? How are you supposed to grow a pair right now? Hang some weights. It's all funny, but it doesn't help in a specific argument. So, what to do in the moment? First, make a kind of warning shot into the air. Calmly but firmly say, lower your tone. I won't talk in that tone. This works if the conversation shifts to raised voices, rudeness, derogatory, or offensive remarks. If complaints and demands start being expressed in a rude manner, you must immediately set a boundary. Stop. Don't talk to me like that. If the person doesn't understand, you can use the agreement technique. To any accusations, calmly respond, yes. The woman says, you can't do anything. You're this and that. And you reply, yes, and what's next? This way, you deprive the conflict of fuel. She vents, and you don't justify yourself. You don't take the victim's position. If this doesn't help and the attack continues, the best way is to break contact. Step out of the dialogue, go to friends, pack your things. Sometimes a pause is enough to discharge the emotional charge. There's no point in staying in humiliating and destructive communication. But what if the situation has been going on for years, and you're already under her thumb? This is more difficult, but possible. You need to put yourself first. Never justify yourself. Start mirroring. Respond in kind. If you're being blamed, ask yourself, what's my fault? Am I a thief or a killer? Everything else is made up. The main thing is to stop swallowing everything. Act based on your own desires. Don't want to? Don't do it. Start small. Say no, turn away, walk out. Small steps will eventually lead to big changes, like a fractal where the small is repeated in the large. And another rule, don't explain yourself unless you are directly asked to. If you hear, please explain, then explain. If not, hold your position and don't give justifications. Next, never justify yourself for anything to anyone. You are not guilty of anything, period. If the situation has spiraled into constant conflicts, you need to break contact. If it's your apartment, ask the woman to leave, let her live alone, and think. Sometimes this is the only right decision. Another technique, agree with everything she says. For example, the woman in the heat of the moment declares, then I'll divorce you. Instead of the usual persuasion and attempts to save the relationship, calmly reply, fine. Such a response knocks the ground from under her feet and often sobers her up. Now, 2 real stories. First, a man, 50 years old, widower, 2 adult children. 4 years ago, he lost his wife. He met an older woman online. At first, it was like a fairy tale. Care, attention, warmth. She asked to live with him. Gradually, she pushed the children out of the house, became the complete mistress. Rudeness, pressure, humiliation began. The man came to his senses when he found out about several large loans taken in his name. In 2 years, she turned his life into a debt pit. He has a large cottage, a good income, a decent plot of land. She has an adult unemployed son with expensive gadgets and an idle lifestyle. The man now constantly hides away fishing just to avoid being at home. Second, a man married for 4 years. Before the wedding, his wife talked about children, dreamed of a family. After the wedding, she refused the idea. She had a child from her first marriage already grown. Soon manipulation began. You owe me because I'm a woman. You must support me, respect me, let me go everywhere, buy me everything I want. No reciprocity, only demands. She shifted all responsibility onto him, even for the fact they had no children together, although she herself didn't want them. She constantly reminded him, someone earns more, someone's husband is more generous. It all ended with him working only to pay off imaginary debts to her and her child. Both cases are examples of what must not be tolerated. If you let someone get on your neck once, you'll keep paying for it. And here's the poor man trying again and again to explain himself to bring the woman to an honest conversation. But she avoids it, starts being aggressive, dodges, changes the subject. Contrary to the common belief that men easily change women, in reality, it's different. Men don't like instability. They don't like change. They need a platform on which they can build a life. And when it starts to shake, they try to reinforce it, not replace it. The power of habit in men is enormous. They get used to being with a particular woman, get used to how she treats them. And the woman, seeing that her behavior works and lets her get everything she wants, has no intention of changing anything. The conclusion is simple. Put yourself first and live based on what you need. You weren't born to serve another person or pay off non-existent debts. This is your life, and you need to live it for yourself. If a man still remains in such a relationship, continues to endure and swallow insults, the psyche begins to switch on self-destruction mode. Libido drops, psychosomatic issues appear, work suffers, and in severe cases, serious health problems begin. High blood pressure, excess weight, cardiovascular diseases, problems with potency. Sometimes the body literally puts the man in bed, as if saying, "You're weak, you can't make a decision, lie down and think." In such situations, the only way out is not to explain, not to justify, but to completely cut off contact. To insults and attacks, only agreement, yes, fine, and distance. The person who allowed such behavior must make the first move, call themselves, apologize, and realize what they've done. And if after the first conversation nothing changes, then there's no point in wasting your life on this woman. Thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed to the channel. What do you think about this? Write in the comments and see you in the next video.